Chris, if we told you that you'd go 2-1 against this field without starting two of the guys that were supposed to start going into the weekend, I'm sure you'd take that. What'd you learn about your guys in getting this victory here today and the weekend overall?
The one thing it let us do is it let us learn a little bit more than we would in a normal weekend. Seeing some guys in some different situations. Jackson Frisco earlier today, Casey Hunt late, Cam Tuller. Just getting to see guys over the weekend and see them be able to pitch. We were down a bunch of arms this weekend, being here. And so it's the year that we're going to have. So we've kind of sold it to our guys and embrace it. And it's a next man up mentality. And I give our guys a lot of credit. Coming here with all our guys healthy and going 2 out of 3 against this field, I'm happy with. But I like the way we played. And we didn't play perfect, and we have a lot of room to improve. But we play tough. And our guys stay engaged, and they stay in the moment. And they play hard, and that's what I like about them.
Next, we'll go to Ben Portnoy.
Chris, just in terms of the last 5 days, I guess what was kind of your timeline in terms of actually figuring out that y'all were heading to Dallas? And I guess what's that been like? What was that like kind of working through and getting here?
It was really stressful. We probably figured it out about what day we fly out on Friday, and we figured it out late Thursday. And the dynamic that was so tough is it wasn't just our decision. It was tied in with Ole Miss. So we were both making decisions, and we didn't know if we could get out of Starkville, they could get out of Oxford. And, if one of us canceled, it canceled the other. So it was kind of this back and forth that you don't usually have. Luckily, with our administration and their administration, they made this happen. And that's the exciting thing for all of us is, we're able to get out here and play ball and play in this environment. And our teams are better because of it. It's a nice thing about being in the SEC and playing for these type of programs. You have people supporting you and they got your back.
And what was that like, just splitting, sharing the plane with them, getting out here and all that?
It was fine. We walked in, they walked in. The only bad part is we have to wait for their game to be over, but it feels a lot better knowing that we won. And but we're going to sit here, we're going to get a meal, we're going to watch the game and get on a plane back tonight and get ready for class in the morning.
Next, we'll go to Steve Robertson.
Coach, it seems like the staff kind of pitched themselves into trouble and then pitched themselves out of trouble, especially Carlisle Kessler there. What did you see from him, and what do you think it says about this staff that when they do have some mistakes, they can pitch themselves out of a jam?
Well, I know my pitching coach we pitched great this weekend in terms of giving up runs, but he's not happy with the walks. It's something very uncharacteristic with us. And I don't know if that's the excitement, the venue. We haven't been in front of fans. We really didn't throw a guy out there this weekend that usually walks a lot. And we've had a bunch. We gave up a lot of freebies this weekend. So, it says a lot that they keep pitching and they stay engaged. And Carlisle, he's a strike thrower. So, wild pitches and HBPs and walks, they're really frustrating if you're the coach. I know that. And I know our kids don't want to do it either. And it'll be some of the piece that we clean up. And, starting on the road, starting in this environment, starting at this competition level after COVID, I didn't think it'd be the cleanest baseball. And so, our guys getting out there and getting their feet wet was huge. And we're looking forward to getting home and playing on Wednesday.
Next, we'll go to Robbie Falk.
Hey, Chris, a lot of guys on the mound today have never pitched at Mississippi State in a game, and you threw them out there. Of course, Jackson's a true freshman, and he comes out there and has to start this game on short notice, I guess. What was your thoughts from just what you were able to see from the dugout on how those freshmen and even Tuller, who came in there as a JUCO guy, handled this situation in this ballpark?
Well, I thought it was good. I thought Jackson, he had really good stuff. He showed some composure because they got some great base runners, some great team speed. I just think you get a little amped, and a lot of our he gets to 1-2, and next thing you know, it's 3-2 because he's trying to throw the best strikeout pitch in the country, and he'll figure that out over time. But and then I think his stuff just by the end of the third, you could see his stuff just gradually coming down. And because of the weather and because of spring training, we just haven't been able to get guys totally where we want them pitch count wise. So we felt like take a positive, take 3 great innings, move it into next week. And, he probably could have ran out there and got another inning, but we wanted him to come off the field and feel like it was a successful, first outing.
Next, we'll go to Joel Coleman.
Hey, Chris. Obviously, coming into this weekend, I think you talked about Kellum Clark some and wanting to try to get his bat in the lineup because it'd been hot during spring training and things. And obviously, I think we saw him in a pinch hit appearance, and I guess Brandon Pimentel, we didn't see him any. Is there anything like that or anything that stands out as something you would have liked to have seen or done this weekend that you didn't get to do?
That's probably the biggest one. And he's launching balls into the bleachers here, and we got to get him more opportunities. This weekend was hard because one of his spots is DH. I don't know if my DH made an out this weekend. So that spot, and then LJ's playing really well also. And then we had then you just look at the lefties we faced. I mean, the lefty yesterday and the lefty today as starters, it's just kind of put me in a jam a little bit. So he'll get out there. You'll see him a good bit, and some other guys too. We got some other guys that'll get a chance to play. The games were so tight this weekend, it didn't give us a chance to really. Even today, even though we opened it up, you open it up in the ninth. Like, we're just going to get out of here and play good defense and roll at that point. We didn't really have an opportunity to get an extra AB.
Next, we'll go to John Sokoloff.
Hey, Chris, congrats, man. You mentioned it before in terms of what you thought of the pitching staff, but where would you kind of assess how your guys' command is, and how much of a longer way do you think that these guys have to go in terms of, getting that command a little sharper?
Yeah, we got to improve. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, we haven't pitched like that all year in terms of the walks. So it's just, like I said, it's a little nervousness, a little excitement. We got some guys that are, we had 5 of our better arms not with us and not available this week that we'll have next weekend. So I think as we work through that, that's going to put everybody more in their roles over time. So it should help us out.
Next, we'll go to Steve Robertson.
Chris, I know there's never enough insurance runs, but when you guys started putting that 9th inning together, with Tack's ability to score runs, did you ever feel like you had enough, or did you feel like that you needed to keep tacking on there?
Keep tacking on. It's like if you play us, it's like playing Tech or any of these teams here. It's one of the qualities is they're just not going to stop, and they have a chance to hit a ball out of the ballpark at any time. So, I learned that in my first year in the SEC, that no game is ever over. So, I'm not comfortable until the last out's made, especially when we walked the first 2 guys there in the 9th. But the old man, he got out of it, and he almost has to create a crisis so he'll pitch good. So he needs a tighter ball game. That's what you hate about your closer when you go to that point. We'd already taken out KC. He thought he was coming in with a 1-run game. He probably pitches better in that. So for us to expand it, it was nice for him to get out of it. But yeah, I'm never easy playing those type of games.
All right, we'll have 2 more questions. First with Ben Portnoy.
Chris, on Jackson, obviously he's a guy that in a normal year might be playing pro ball right now, but in terms of getting him to school and what you saw today, I mean, do you feel like he's a guy that can, in a pinch pitch some weekend games and will get some midweek starts? Is that kind of where you envision him being?
Yeah, I don't know right now. I mean, I'm going to, evaluate. He has been really good for us. And I don't know how hard every pitch was, but he's usually mid-90s for us with that power breaking ball. And I think the more comfortable he gets, you may see a little more stuff. And, this year the SEC play is going to be so huge. I don't know if you stack all your power arms into it. We've debated that a lot. I mean, obviously our midweeks are important, but the key is going to be winning in the league, especially with a weekend like this, having a successful first weekend, being able to build that, in the league. So I think we could use him a lot on the weekend. So we'll see. Probably didn't answer your question, but
I got what you're saying.
And last question, we'll go to Joel Coleman.
Chris, I guess just a health check real quick, but with Will and with Eric, you anticipate probably having those guys back out there next weekend, or is there still some wait and see to all that?
No, we should definitely have Eric back because his situation, and Will, it's day to day with Will. It's not it's not a long lasting thing. It's day to day. So we'll assess him and see how he goes, and be able to use him. But Eric's, Eric will be back with us, and go in there and then checking on Will. So we got to get good work for Will in the middle of the week. So hopefully we can do that and get him ready for the weekend.
Great. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Greg.